If your RC rally car understeers, it's hard to drive and it doesn't feel fast, you don't need to spend your money on new RC parts, but most probably you need to do some adjustments in the setup. Keep watching this video because I'm going to make you save some money and probably I'm going to make your RC car much faster. Hello everyone, welcome back on my YouTube channel. Finding a proper setup for your RC rally car it's quite hard. There are not a lot of information on the internet, but don't worry, I'm here to help you. I've prepared everything. In today's video I'm going to explain you how to prepare a proper setup for on-road and off-road races in RC Rally. The only thing that I ask you is to leave a like, to subscribe, and leave a comment in order to support my YouTube channel. Thank you. Just one thing before starting with the video. Do not take this video as a sponsored video. Do not take this video as a product placement because it is not. I'm not making a living out of YouTube. I'm here just because I really like this game, this hobby, RC Rally, and I want to share my knowledge in the best possible way in order to make RC Rally more popular and to help people to enjoy, let's say, this RC race category. Starting from the tires, here we have the best tires for RC Rally in my opinion. If you want to be fast and to be competitive, don't save money on the tires. The tires are the most important thing on a car and also on a RC Rally car. And here are my favorite tires. For on-road races, I use the Jetco Avantgrade Super Soft Compound and also the HPI Pirelli Tires Soft Compound. For off-road races, I really like the Tamiya Rally Block tires. They are like a comfort food, maybe not so delicious, not so hard to cook, but always there for you. So Rally Block tires for off-road muddy races and also the V&R Pin tires from Czech Republic. Moving on, now let's talk about the oils for RC Rally. During these years, I have tested a lot of gradation for oils, and here are my suggestions. In RC Rally, always use a thicker oil in the front and a lighter one in the rear. I'm talking about the differentials. For off-road races, I suggest you to use 3000 front, 1000 rear. Meanwhile, for on-road races, use 5000 front, 2000 rear. But there's something that you need to keep in mind. If it's summer and it's very hot, 30 degrees or more, using, let's say, 5000, 2000 can be okay in the morning, but in the afternoon, the viscosity of the oil can change and you will feel it while driving. So, in case you're going to race in a very hot day, maybe switch to 8000 front, 3000 rear. There's another topic in RC Rally about the central differential. If you are a beginner, do not use the central differential, because as a beginner you need to learn how the behavior of the model change based on which oil you put, how you set up the car and so on, and let's say adding a central differential in your thoughts is not going to make you faster. If you feel, let's say, ready to use a central differential in RC Rally, it's not mandatory, but in general I use a 60,000 viscosity of oil, which is okay for the car that I'm using, but maybe in a hot day I will increase it to 80,000. And now let's talk about the dampers. The dampers in RC Rally are very important, and me personally and some other drivers used to have two different pairs of dampers. A shorter one for on-road races and longer one for off-road races. Currently I've prepared my RC Rally car for the next race, which is going to be on-road for me. For this RC Rally car and for this type of dampers, these are the big bore aeration dampers from Tamiya, which I use for on-road races. I use 450, 350 in the rear. Meanwhile, in the off-road setup, I use different dampers, longer one from X-Ray, and I use 350 gradation of oil in the front and 250 in the rear. Keep in mind that the information that I'm sharing with you are, let's say, based on my RC Ready model. It doesn't mean that if I'm telling you to use 5,000 gradation of oil in the front, it's not going to be good for you and you're going to use like 50,000. No, but you need to stay in a certain range. About the differential oil, don't go, let's say, more than 10,000 in the front and 5,000 in the rear. So try to stay in a certain range, let's say, from the information that I'm sharing with you. So let's go back to the dampers. It's a, let's say, big topic. I don't want to get lost. About the oil, another thing, if you are setting up your RC rally car, let's say, for the first time or watching this video, start with an oil which is equal for the front and the rear. So let's say 350 front, 350 rear, and then you will try to understand how your car behaves. If you feel that the rear, let's say, doesn't have grip while giving power exiting the corner, try to put, let's say, lighter oil in the rear, 350, 250. But that's not so easy because the dampers, you can regulate the drop, you can regulate the spring, the ground clearance, so it's a bit a challenging topic. Let's say that you feel that the oil is perfect. I want to give you a tip. This is something that I personally do in order to understand if the oil is not too light. Put the car on a rough terrain, drive back and forward without the body, and observe if the rear tires are jumping on the surface, disconnecting from it. If that happens, probably the thickness of the oil is too light. After the tires, the dampers are very important because, let's say, they regulate this all suspended mass, which is the chassis that's connected through the suspension arms to the tires. You can change in an easy way the behavior of your SC rally car through the dampers without going too deep into this topic. Through the dampers, after that you have the correct oil, you need to choose the correct springs. I have a lot of springs, so invest your money in your springs because you are going to change them also through a race. This RC model has, let's say, a weight distribution of more or less 51-49, so it's a bit heavier on the front, and I use a harder springs always on the front and a softer one on the rear. Be careful. As a first step, I suggest you to use the same springs front and rear, and then accordingly on how the model behaves, you are going to act properly. What does it mean? If you put a too light oil in the front and a too soft spring, you will see that while decelerating and entering a corner, the car will immediately sit in a very fast way and will lose completely the mechanical grip. So in that case, it's good to put a bit of a harder spring on the front. Meanwhile, exiting a corner and giving power and seeing that the rear is going to sit in a too much fast way and you're going to have, let's say, a strange oversteering, that the car is going to close immediately the rear towards the inner part of the corner, that also will means that the rear springs or the rear oil is too light. Last thing about the dampers, it's the drop. The drop is, let's say, how much the wheels go down, let's say, comparing to the chassis. It depends from which kind of shock towers you have. I use this custom one that allows me to regulate the dampers in many positions. As a first step, I suggest you to use an equal drop front rear. If you feel that you have a more unstable rear of the car, try to have a bigger drop on the rear comparing it to the front, or try to put a bit the front tires a bit higher, and you will see a change in the behavior of your RC rally car. But in general, this applies to my RC rally car, and try to use this suggestion to do some experiment by yourself on your RC rally car. Now let's move on the next topic, which is the Ackermann angle. In my opinion, it's one of the most important things in RC rally in order to be fast, because if you have a wrong Ackermann angle and you do not notice it, you can change a lot of things in the chassis, but the car, the model, will stay slow in the corners. I'm talking on personal experience because I've lost like 6 months from the last season because I had a different Ackermann angle generated from a different servo that I changed mid-season, and I didn't notice this aspect, and I was, let's say, very lost about the behavior of my RC rally car. By the way, with the Ackermann angle, you can regulate how the model behaves entering or exiting a corner. Having a positive Ackermann angle, let's say, it's mandatory for RC rally because we want a lot of steering of power. Of power means that entering a corner, we are not giving any input on the throttle, and the car is able to rotate to entering the corner in a very fast way. Having a positive Ackermann angle means that the inside wheel is going to have a bigger steering angle comparing it to the outer one in a corner. In order to obtain this result, we need to, let's say, have a 90 degrees angle of the steering arm if we compare it, let's say, to the suspension arm or to the chassis. Be careful with this angle. As you can see, I don't have a 90 degrees angle. It's a bit less, otherwise you're going to, let's say, stress the servo, or mechanically you're going to, let's say, lock the wheels while steering. So if you feel that your RC rally car rotates, let's say, in a slow way and you lose a lot of time entering a corner, adjust this value. Now let's talk about the last thing that you can modify on the setup of your RC rally car, which is the roll center. Adjusting the roll center allows you to, let's say, adjust how much your RC car can roll through a corner. Usually, on high grip conditions, you want a higher low center in order to have a more stable RC rally car, but since you're talking about RC rally, we are always on low grip condition. Even our, let's say, high grip condition are the lowest one for the people that race regularly on track. So in order to adjust the roll center, you need to lower the position of the camber links and put the suspension arm on a higher position. I'm trying to explain these things in a very short way because otherwise the video is going to be too long, and the goal is to have a 10 minutes video where I tell you the most important thing of a RC rally setup. About still the roll center, try to use the same values for the front and the rear. So start from same camber links angle from the front and the rear, and then let's check how the model behaves. Last thing about a proper RC rally setup. In this video I'm not going to talk in an extensive way about the electronics, but for RC rally is more than enough a 13.5 T engine, 4600 mAh battery. Don't buy huge batteries, but check the weight of your ESC, check the weight of your motor, and then try to buy a battery that's going to compensate their weights in order to have, let's say, a well-balanced RC rally car. I think that's all. I hope that I've explained everything in a quite clear way. I hope that for this video you will get faster. And if you have any question, just leave a comment. I will do my best in order to answer you. Thank you a lot for watching this video. Thank you a lot for your support, and see you soon for the next one. Ciao!